Hello everyone, how's it going? We have a lot to get through today. We're going to take a look at my Walking Dead collection, so stay tuned. Okay, so long story short, it was just recently announced that the Walking Dead comic would soon redo all of their issues in color. Because if you truly know, as a Walking Dead fan, what are you doing? The inside of Walking Dead comic books have always been in black and white, but they're going to redo it all in color, so that'll be interesting. They're gonna release the issues bi-weekly, I guess, but that had me pondering to take a look back at my collection. So starting off, we have a reprint of issue number 1 where it all started. If you have the very first issue, you might be a thousandaire at this point. So let's skip ahead. We're going to go through this really fast. So here is number 1 again, variant issue. Now, here is the Walking Dead 15th anniversary version of issue number 7. The camera can catch that. Okay, so issue number 7, we got a beautiful variant over here with Tyrese in the foreground with the snow. Going on ahead, we have issue number 9. Now, this is a weekly, and weeklies are basically what they were reprinting the very first couple of issues of Walking Dead for. That's a cool one. This is in the perspective of a zombie's eye as he's looking at Rick. Here's a good one. Walking Dead issue number 10, original. This is, I believe, the first appearance of Maggie. Just a really cool cover, probably one of my favorites. Next we have issue number 12. One of my favorites as well. I just like the orange that pops out at you. Here in the story is when they traversed inside the prison that was later, established in season 3. Here is the 15th anniversary variant of issue number 19, drawn by J. Scott Campbell, for Michonne, probably one of the best covers in this series. Here's a weekly of issue 20. I believe that's Lori, looking very depressed. Here is 22. Oh, fuck. Okay, so issue 22 has Carol, Michonne, and Tyrese. Tyrese was in a relationship with Carol, but Carol, finding out about this affair, she kills herself. She's basically not the same character as she is in the TV show, but nevertheless, interesting character. Here is issue 37 weekly. I really like this cover with a pregnant Lori, and as we all know, as comic fans, Lori dies with a newborn Judith from the prison attack much later on. Okay, here we have 39. I believe this is when Lori gives birth and Maggie operates on her. Here's issue 40 and issue 46. 46 is, I believe, around this era when Tyrese dies by the governor at the prison. And here, in comparison, is issue 47. 2 really amazing covers of the prison attack. Probably one of the best eras of Walking Dead. Here, to jump ahead, is 49. This was a singular episode in the TV show with Chandler Riggs right after their prison attack. Pretty cool cover. Up next, to mark the 50th monumental occasion, is issue 50. There have been different versions of this, but this is the only one I have. I find myself saying with every cover that it's my favorite, but this is, another one of my favorites. It was very interesting trying to figure out what kids do on Halloween during this time. So that's here to represent that. And to start out the No Way Out storyline. Probably one of the best seasons of Walking Dead, season 6. Well, at least that little story arc. This is part 3 of that story arc in the comics. Moving way ahead, issue 91. This is like Andrea reminiscing about Dale, who her and him were in a relationship. So there is Dale's hat. I like this cover. And 92, the first appearance of Jesus. Paul Monroe, or whatever he's called. This is not the original 92. This is the 15th anniversary version. Obviously, he looks like someone very familiar. Okay, coming in at issue 100 is Negan's first appearance. Very popular character. Here he is, silhouetted in the background. There are multiple variations and variants of this issue. So, here's one of my favorites. Michonne and Rick. Looking pretty badass. Probably one of everyone's favorites. This was even adapted in a TV show in some variation. Is this variant with all the dead characters represented. We got Tyrese, Jim, Dale, Glenn maybe, many others. With Rick looking very somber. Here is one drawn by Todd McFarlane, who many know as a Spider-Man artist. Very pretty. Alright, jumping ahead, we got issue 102. Nothing that special, but a continuation of that story. Here's a cover that they did for the show. A story episode with Chandler Riggs trying his hardest to represent this, and I think he did a pretty good job. Next up is issue 106. This is a variant of 106. I think this marks the 100th cover that the second artist provided for this monumental occasion, and I like it a lot. It's almost as if the zombie is chewing on Rick. 107. You know, Rick is very distraught as he's wondering what happened to Carl and if Negan killed him. So there's that. Alright, this is one of the best. 108. First appearance of Ezekiel and his crazy tiger Shiva. I think the actor in the show does a great job at that. Here's one of the better variants of issue 108. This was made for Walking Dead Day, 15th anniversary. This is the Virgin cover with no lettering. Very interesting. Quite like it. 109. Maggie's grieving over Glenn on his grave with Sophia. So there's that. Issue 111, if you watch the show, happens in season 7 when he kills Spencer and guts him. So that's a menacing cover of Negan. The follow-up to that is 112. This is basically when Negan just sparks the war again. 113, one of Andrea's best storylines where she's on the tower just sniping everyone. Pretty awesome cover. Even better, singular story coming out of the prelude to All Out War. Here's 114. I always felt as if Jesus did not get the attention he deserved with his fighting skills compared to the comic. So here we go. Issue 115, cover K. They made a bunch of different covers for All Out War, so I didn't really care to keep up with it. But here you go. Okay, 116 of All Out War. Always thought that Holly as a character was very cool because we as an audience don't know anything about her, and she just shines in that one singular issue, and she sacrifices herself basically, this random character that we knew nothing about. 117. Yeah, here we go. These issues are basically all the same to me. 118. 120. 120 is chapter 6 of 12. There you go. Here is 122 with Heath. Whatever happened to Heath in the TV show, I will never know. 123. I always felt as if this cover art always made it seem like Ezekiel's knee was bent, but it's just the shadow or leg of someone else. Dwight? I don't know. Okay, so 124. Yeah, to me these covers all look the same. You know, they were rushing these out very fast, so I can't complain. 125. And then we jump ahead to a new era of Walking Dead. A new beginning. This is the variant, 15th anniversary version. Probably one of the most... I don't know. The style is really beautiful to me. And it's a connecting cover, front and back. I always wish I had a duplicate of this to display the back side so I can connect it. But here you go. This is the variant version. But the regular original version, introducing Magna and all those characters, is 127 itself. Here we go. Cool. Okay, here we go. Issue 128. Magna looking cool, and if you flip it, it does this, and I will get back to this again. You will see this comic again soon. Okay, after All Out War, they tried to establish Rick as a very broken and an old man after Negan cracked his kneecap. So, introducing 129 is that cover of Rick with a cane. So there you go. Now, probably one of my favorite storylines in the entire series is the introduction of the Whisperers. And here's a beautiful cover of that. And the episode I'm watching on screen right now is actually season 9 that introduces that aspect. So here we go. Issue 131 is Carl trying to be an apprentice to Earl. This is when I really got into the comics and I started collecting them in a row. So 132, probably one of the best issues ever made. Cool cover, but in it of itself is the introduction of Magna. Here's a variant version for Walking Dead Day. Cool art style of Magna. 133, Impending Doom. 134, this is when they cemented the fact that Jesus is one of the best characters in the comic. And here he fights a bunch of Whisperers. And this is the episode where, you know, he dies. So that's represented in here. 135, they find a person who they thought was a walker, but it's actually a little girl. 136, nothing too special here. They're just spying on the communities of Hilltop and the likes. 137 is a very cool cover. Carl's looking like a complete badass. 138, this is the first cover with Magna. And I remember at the time people were really hyped for 139. And rightfully so, they introduced some more communities like Oceanside. Here's issue 140. I should probably get rid of that sticker on Sophia's face. 141, Negan escapes jail, but, you know, as we know, he just comes back later. 142, they start ramping up the fair as a real thing that's going to happen, as a big event, but we all know what happens next. 142, nothing special there, but I do like it. 144, a very monumental occasion in the series, and probably one of the greatest episodes from the TV show. Issue 145 is the aftermath of what happened. Everyone's crying, everyone's depressed. People are grief-stricken in 146. Maggie and Rick have a little fight. 147. This is when I started to die out of collecting them in a row, but they were still good. 148. Here is probably one of the coolest covers. Issue 150. It's like the devil on your shoulder. Negan on Rick's shoulder. Very symbolic. There were some variations of that I got. Like this. And this for issue 150. And this. So, issue 150 is an homage to Magna's version. So, back to back, obviously very similar. I quite like that. Also, I'm at the part in the episode where Jesus sacrifices himself. Probably one of the coolest moments in the show. Cool moment. They should have maybe not killed him at the time though. But yeah. Here is issue 150 variant that is an obvious homage to the original. I really like that. And I like the fact that in the original it has zombies in the window panels. And over here it's deceased characters that we all know and love. And it's the new Rick versus the old Rick. Cool. 151, Dwight is looking really cool with Lucille, Negan's bat, and some crossbow, I think. But yeah, he just looks really cool, and he has that line at the end of this issue or before when he says, "When in Rome," and just puts on a whisperer mask to blend in. So that was cool. 152 is when they started to do the Whisperer War. 155. Another cool cover. Okay. Queen and King, 156. Negan basically kills Magna. Cool stuff. This sparks the Whisperer War, essentially. Here's a variant. This is not the original version. This is 1 of 6. Here's 2 of 6 with Jesus. Here's the original version of 158. Here is 160 variant. One of my favorite covers, personally. 159, because I really like Andrea as a character. I think she's one of the coolest fictional comic book characters of all time, in my opinion. 160, regular. Part 4 of 6 of the Whisperer War. Here is 5 of 6. 161 variant version with Lydia and Carl. Carl's looking way too manly over here, but whatever. 6 of 6, regular. And here is the variant to complete it off. 6 of 6 with Negan, 162. Next, we have 163. At the time they sold this for, oh my god. Here is all the connecting covers from the Whisperer War. I'm really glad I have them all. They look very nice, completed together like that. There you go. Issue 163 was sold for 25 cents. Issue 164, pretty cool. Here we have issue 165. Now this is where I started to stop collecting as rapidly as I was before. Yay! For all my Walking Dead fans out there, we all know what happens here. Issue 167. I feel as if when he killed Andrea, Robert Kirkman started to lose interest in the comic. So I feel as if that's why he decided to quit. He even wrote a huge love letter to her at the end of this issue. So here's a variant of that from Walking Dead Day. Here's 168. I like white covers. They're very hard to preserve. Here's a really cool cover. Some gay pride over here. Issue 168 with Jesus, you know, he's an LGBTQ character. 171, the introduction of the princess. Here's a weird rave variant. I like it, though. Issue 172, Hilltop Reborn. After the Whisperer War was kind of broken and smothered into smithereens. So here's Carl repairing it. Okay, here is a variant of issue 178. And Bill Sienkiewicz, who does a lot of Marvel stuff, did the variants for these 2 issues and more. So that was Andrea. This is Ezekiel. I really like that art style. I need to collect more of those. But we're wrapping up because now we're at the end. 192. And to finish that off, very thick last issue. Surprise ending for this entire series. Issue 193. The end. And man, what an end it was. What a wild journey. You know? Are you guys going to collect? the reprints of the entire series in color, let me know. To finish off the video, I do have one compendium that is compendium 3. I do like these because you get to just flip through them at ease if you're not a collector. If you are a collector, if you just want something to flip through, I'd recommend just getting these. And you know, the comic is black and white, so it's going to be interesting how they do each individual page in color. So, if you want Glenn's death in color, there you go. I do also have a bunch of the DVDs. So here's the 6th season. The 5th one, which is probably one of my favorites, next to season 4. The prison stuff, good stuff. Season 3, 2. You know, 2 still holds up. Back then, it was kind of slow. But now I realize that a lot of character moments were made there. And the monumental 1st season. Very cool image. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I have a bunch of stuff I can get through. So there you have it. Alright, take care everyone.